The fog hung low over the country road that Monday morning, turning everything soft and dreamlike. Ethan pulled his vintage Vespa to the side when he saw her sitting on the grass, her burgundy coat wrapped tight against a morning chill. She looked to be in her early 30s, with auburn hair and an expression that spoke of both frustration and resignation. Ethan was 22, in his final year of college, and running late for his first day of the new semester. But his grandmother had raised him better than to pass by someone who needed help. "Excuse me," he called out, pulling off his helmet. "Are you all right?" The woman looked up, startled. "My car broke down about a mile back. I've been trying to get a signal to call for help, but there's nothing out here." Ethan glanced at his watch. He had 30 minutes to make a 40-minute drive to campus. But something in her eyes reminded him of his own mother, years ago, when their old car had died on the way to a school play and a stranger had stopped to help. "Where you headed?" he asked. "Riverside Community College," she said. "I know it's far, and you probably have somewhere to be, but if you could just drop me at the nearest town." "Riverside is where I'm going," Ethan interrupted. "I'm a student there. Come on, I'll give you a lift." The woman hesitated. "On that," she gestured to the Vespa. "She's more reliable than she looks," Ethan said with a smile. "My grandfather's. He gave her to me before he passed. She's got me through 4 years of college without failing me once." Something in his voice must have convinced her, because she stood and brushed off her coat. "I'm Catherine," she said, "and I really appreciate this. You're saving my life." "Ethan," he replied, handing her his spare helmet, "and it's no problem. My grandmother always said that kindness is just love with its work boots on." As Catherine settled behind him on the Vespa, holding carefully to the sides of the seat, Ethan started the engine. The familiar purr brought back memories of his grandfather teaching him to ride, patient and encouraging even when Ethan had been afraid. They rode in companionable silence for the first few miles, the fog beginning to lift as the sun climbed higher. Finally, Catherine spoke over the sound of the engine. "Your grandfather sounds like he was a special person. Ethan said, he grew up with nothing. Came to this country with $2 in his pocket and a belief that hard work and kindness would see him through. He was right. And your grandmother? Is she still with you?" "She is," Ethan said warmly. "She lives with my family. She's the one who insisted I go to college, even when money was tight. Said education was the one thing no one could ever take away from me." Catherine was quiet for a moment. "She's right. Education changes everything." They talked as they rode, their conversation flowing easily despite being strangers. Catherine asked about his major, business administration, and his dreams of one day running his own company. Ethan asked about her morning, and she explained she was starting a new position today and had wanted to arrive early to make a good impression. "First day jitters?" Ethan asked. "Something like that." Catherine said, "I've done this before, but every new beginning feels like jumping off a cliff, you know?" Ethan did know. He remembered his first day of college. Terrified he would not belong, that everyone would see he came from a family without money or connections. But he had found his way, had proven his grandmother right. As they neared the campus, Catherine said, "Can I ask you something, Ethan? Why did you stop for me? Most people your age would have just kept driving." Ethan thought about it. "When I was 10, my mom's car broke down in the rain. We were stranded for hours. Finally, an old man in a beat-up truck stopped. He drove us home, wouldn't accept any money, and told my mom to pay it forward someday. I figure I'm just doing what he did, what my grandfather would have done." "Your family raised you right," Catherine said softly. They arrived at campus with 5 minutes to spare. Ethan pulled into the parking lot and helped Catherine off the Vespa. "Thank you," she said, handing back the helmet. "You really did save me today." I hope your kindness comes back to you tenfold. Just glad I could help, Ethan said. Good luck with your first day. He watched her walk toward the main building, then headed to his own class, Advanced Business Ethics with Professor Catherine Blake. It was supposed to be one of the toughest courses in the program, and Ethan had heard mixed things about the new professor. He slipped into the lecture hall just as class was starting, taking a seat near the back. The professor had her back turned, writing on the board. When she turned around, Ethan's stomach dropped. It was Catherine, the woman from the side of the road, his professor. Their eyes met across the room. Catherine's expression flickered with surprise, then settled into something warmer. Recognition. Understanding. Good morning, she said to class. I'm Professor Blake. This is Advanced Business Ethics. We'll be spending this semester talking about integrity, responsibility, and what it means to lead with character. She paused, her gaze sweeping the room before landing on Ethan again. Ethics isn't just something we study in textbooks. It's the choices we make when no one is watching. It's stopping to help a stranger when you're running late. It's doing the right thing even when it costs you something. Ethan felt his cheeks warm as several students turned to look at him. Somehow, without saying his name, Catherine had made it clear she was talking about what had happened that morning. Over the next few months, Catherine continued, I'm going to challenge you to think deeply about what kind of business people and what kind of people you want to be, because the world has enough people who know how to make money. What we need are people who know how to make a difference. After class, as students filed out, Catherine asked Ethan to stay for a moment. I should have introduced myself properly this morning, she said when they were alone. I wasn't trying to deceive you. I just didn't think. It's fine, Ethan interrupted. I'm just glad you made it on time. Catherine smiled. Thanks to you. That was quite an entrance for my first day. Showing up on the back of a student's Vespa. They both laughed, and some of the awkwardness dissolved. I meant what I said in class, Catherine continued. What you did this morning. That's the kind of character that can't be taught. You saw someone who needed help, and you helped. No calculations, no wondering what you'd get out of it. Just simple human kindness. My grandfather used to say that how we treat people when it doesn't benefit us shows who we really are, Ethan said. Your grandfather was a wise man, Catherine replied. I lost my father last year. He was a lot like how you describe your grandfather. Believed in hard work, kindness, doing right by people. This new position, moving to a new city, it's been hard without him to call and talk to. Her voice caught slightly, and Ethan understood. Grief was like that. It waited in unexpected moments. He'd be proud of you, Ethan said. Starting something new, even when it's scary. That takes courage. Catherine's eyes glistened. Thank you for that. And thank you for this morning. You made a hard day a little bit easier.